Hey guys, Aaron here for the Love of Tech, and today I want to go ahead and review a camera comparison, another camera comparison, a camera comparison like nothing that you've ever seen before on the channel, or maybe it's the same thing you saw like a couple weeks ago. But anyways, this is different. Why is it different, you're saying? Well, we have the OnePlus 9 Pro going up against the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. You heard me correct. We are putting up the OnePlus 9 Pro up against Samsung's Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Is it even a comparison? The Note 20, Samsung has years of camera refinement, and the OnePlus 9 Pro is the first year that the Hasselblad, I think it's Hasselblad. The Hasselblad collaboration has gone underway with OnePlus and Hasselblad. So did they get it right? Did they make enough of an impact on this camera to actually be able to go up against the Note 20 Ultra, which is typically known for Samsung's highest end flagship feature-rich packed device, including the camera. So what we did is we did a comparison and we did our best to match up feature for feature. And let's go ahead and take a look at that and let's find out which one you prefer. So the first thing I want to go ahead and do is I want to throw up some specs of the OnePlus 9 Pro with the Hasselblad color science technology, right? So we have a rear facing 48 megapixel main camera. It says right here, Sony IMX789 and a whole bunch of other gobbledygook behind it. I think that's telling me that there's a Sony lens inside of there, which I find it interesting that they're going out of their way to let us know. OnePlus, maybe they don't make cameras. Maybe they get camera parts from other places. A lot of manufacturers do that. A lot of cell phone companies do that. OnePlus is just telling you upfront where that's coming from. So next we've got a 50 megapixel ultra wide camera. So right here, we got a 48 and we got a 50, which is pretty solid. Combined, you're looking at like 98 megapixels. Pretty sweet. Then they give you another 8 megapixel telephoto lens, and that helps you get closer shots. And you got your little monochrome camera, which there was all sorts of drama about that a couple years back on the OnePlus 8. So that's kind of the high level specs of the camera of the OnePlus 9 Pro. Moving on over to the Note 20 Ultra, totally different. What we're looking at is a 12 megapixel ultra wide rear facing camera. On top of that, a 108 megapixel lens. That's pretty crazy. It's a wide angle and it's 108 megapixels. If they're like going for the award for the highest megapixels or the specs in a smartphone lens, they might be like first place, at least second place. There might be someone that has a higher pixel count, a megapixel count out there, but I don't think that there's many people. And then you have another 12 megapixel telephoto lens. So there's a lot going on, and there's sensors and there's lasers and pew, 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 pew. It's crazy stuff going on inside of these cameras. So let's go ahead and take a look at some actual photos that these crazy cameras actually produced. And let's see, which one do you prefer and which one do you like over the other one? So just looking at these two photos side by side, same lighting condition, the best to match up settings for settings. And these are two completely different photos. Look at the hardwood flooring in the dining room next to the kitchen. That is like, got some really beautiful patterned hardwood floors in my house. Probably gonna cover them up with tile eventually, but for right now, we're enjoying this old school hardwood floors. And the colors on it right there are so drastically different. And then we're gonna go ahead and go into the actual kitchen, and you can see that's porcelain tile there. And there's no reason, in my opinion, that these colors should be so drastically different, but it does appear to me that the Samsung is definitely a little bit more enhanced, whereas the OnePlus is a little bit more softer, not quite as sharply as enhanced. I think I prefer the Note 20 over the OnePlus in this comparison, but that might change as we continue to progress forward. So now we're gonna go ahead and look at the typical nighttime mode that I like to go ahead and show you guys. This is me in the backyard taking a photo. Pretty spot on. If you look at the color of the fence, you can see the white balance is a little bit different in the Note versus OnePlus again. So everything is still looking different. These are two very drastically different cameras. And it's kind of like very evident just after the first couple photos here. So that is nighttime mode. They both did phenomenal as far as I'm concerned when it comes to the actual nighttime technology. Here is another nighttime mode shot. Now this is from across the street by the house. And you can see, wow, the OnePlus did a really good job with everything. Like, I don't have any complaints about this photo. Nothing anywhere. But if I go ahead and I look over at the Samsung, I think Samsung does a better job at brightening the scene and bringing out the colors. OnePlus does a really good job of preserving the detail and the outline of everything. Samsung does make it, once you get close up, a little bit fuzzy. Don't think they do that on purpose, just the nature of the beast. However, let's keep in our heads, I took this picture in the dark. The only lighting source was the lamppost down the road, and it wasn't even a lot, not to illuminate it. So both of these devices, both phones did great. So here is the same photo from the same location with no night mode activated. Look at OnePlus. Nothing. Did nothing. Barely even caught the lamppost. Now, look at Samsung. Look what Samsung did. This is no nighttime mode, snapping a photo. This actually came out really good. Not bad at all. If this was all I had to pick from, I could use this photo. Here is the lamppost again. Now, this is actually a pretty interesting photo because it seems on this one, OnePlus did a way better job than Samsung when activating the night mode. So it is interesting. So far, the results have been somewhat inconsistent, but the colors have been consistent, but the nighttime mode is a little off base. I do think OnePlus definitely is the better photo there. So we're gonna go ahead and use the actual telephoto lens and take a photo zoomed up on the Samsung Note. So you can see the lamppost really gets up there. You don't have that ability to get that close when it comes to the OnePlus, but with the Note 20 Ultra, that amazing telephoto lens, that 108 megapixels, it is stacking those pixels on top of each other and it is doing its thing. So one more nighttime photo. This is the front of the house looking across the street, and there's all sorts of low lighting light sources behind that wall over there. And I think both devices take those colors, those lights, and they bring them forward, they enhance them, they make it look phenomenal. I think this is a really cool shot because it also captures the different colors coming off of those little lights there. Both devices did a stellar job. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to selfie nighttime mode. Now from what I can show you, OnePlus does not have a selfie night mode feature. Samsung Note 20 Ultra does. Take a look at this. You can see if you need to do a nighttime shot, there's really not much you can do on the OnePlus, but if you're going for a nighttime selfie Note 20 Ultra, you're in there all day. So this is my little Athena, and she's just laying on the back porch, and I took a quick little picture of her. And what we're gonna do is, this is supposed to be a portrait shot, so we are going to zoom in and look at the edges around her cute little ears. And as I can see, is the edges on the OnePlus are slightly more fuzzy than the edges on the Note 20 Ultra, but I prefer the color of the OnePlus 9 Pro in this shot over Samsung any day. So the portrait mode was better. However, the colors, my opinion, were not. It's very clear that OnePlus did a great job when analyzing these colors. So this is a fun little shot that I started doing, me taking a dark shot in the studio, not having nighttime mode activated, but just a dark shot in the studio where my only light source is my clock across the way there. You can see that says 5:16 a.m. on the OnePlus. And when we zoom in over on the Note, I actually think you can see the 5:16 a little bit more clearer. So I think that the Note took a better shot under these conditions, no nighttime activated, just a shot in the dark, seeing what we were going to pick up. 5:16 a.m. definitely looks better on the Note 20 Ultra to me. Here's a shot of the alley down over by the office downtown. Wow, these colors in both of these devices look absolutely phenomenal. We've got the gray concrete, we have some red brick, we've got some white clouds, we've got some beautiful beautiful blue sky. I don't know which one of these photos is the best one. Let me know what your opinion is. Head down to the comments. Photo number 10. Do you prefer the OnePlus 9 Pro or do you prefer the Note 20 Ultra? I want to hear from you. So here is a building that I frequent pretty frequently over in downtown St. Pete. It's a place where one of my offices is located, and I was just checking it out, and I was walking in there and I looked up and I thought to myself, this is a pretty cool shot. We've got some light coming in, we've got some multi-levels, we've got some straight, nice, clean edges to take in, we got some curved edges. I was just like, I really like this shot. Let's go ahead and took some photos. Looked really, really good. So taking this photo, I want you to know both of these photos, other than some slight color variations, look extremely identical to me. So this was a very, very well lit area. And when areas are well lit and the camera doesn't have to do a lot of work as far as processing the images and the colors and interpretation and enhancements and all that, you get a good, clean, natural shot. That's why when taking photos, having proper lighting is very, very important. It helps the camera take a better photo because the camera doesn't have to worry about enhancing and reviewing and interpreting. It can just give you a good, clean picture of what it's looking at right now. And that's what we just got. I know I just said a whole lot for that little photo, but I really liked it. Here we are looking at a picture of the corner of 2nd Avenue and 2nd Street over in St. Petersburg, not far from my office. There's a little restaurant there called 2nd and 2nd, and it's super tasty. If you're ever in town, go check out 2nd and 2nd. They have these mozzarella cheese sticks that aren't breaded. They're not fried. It's just mozzarella grilled, thrown on the grill. It's like a stick of cheese. It's so tasty, and it's on the grill. I love it. Go ahead and take a look at this photo here. Let's look at the blues. Let's look at the clouds. I mean, the Note 20 Ultra, almost everything that it's given us today feels enhanced. It doesn't feel like this is the photo. The Note 20 Ultra does an amazing job of delivering a good, pleasing to the eyes photo. But how natural is it? It doesn't look entirely natural. The OnePlus looks more natural to me. However, I think I prefer the colors of Samsung over the OnePlus in this photo. So now we are at the exact same location and we have the wide angle activated on both devices. What I can tell you from looking at this, OnePlus is giving us a wider wide angle. Not exactly sure like how wide the wide angle is, but just looking and picking focal points to look at. If we look at the focal point, the UPS box, we see we have more room from where the UPS box ends to the end of the actual photo in the OnePlus, whereas the Note 20 you only have a couple inches there, but on the OnePlus you have like a whole bunch of inches. We can actually see, looking at the right of the trolley in the Note, that it's picking up some additional extra things. So it could be that the positioning of the phone when I was holding it is what's causing that big distance on the left hand side, because on the right side there seems to be a little bit more activity going on with a couple more boxes on the street. So maybe I take back my comment. I think the wide angles are pretty matched up angle for angle, whatever that angle might be. But let's go ahead and review the colors. Let's look at the sky, because you know I like to look at the sky. Sky hasn't changed. I like to see that. I like to know that, because sometimes when you activate features, wide angle, dark mode, portrait, you get inconsistent colors. OnePlus and Samsung are both giving us very, very consistent colors in both of these shots, and that is why I like it. Hey guys, thanks for watching today. I love doing camera comparisons. I love taking my devices, my technology, and taking photos and showing them to you. And why do I love doing that so much? Because one of the main reasons we buy these amazing high-end smartphones, because these are both over $1,000, they are high-end smartphones, is because they come with amazing, fantastic cameras. And we want to make sure that we like those colors. So if you are out there and you are on the fence right now, and you are like, do I get the OnePlus 9 Pro or do I get the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra? Well, a lot of it's going to come down to what you exactly need your device for. The Note 20 Ultra is full of features, full of gizmos and gadgets and settings, whereas the OnePlus is a little bit more basic, but it gets the job done and it gets it done well. Both have Pro mode, so you can go ahead and make your adjustments as necessary. However, Samsung is way more customizable as far as user interface, what you want to do, and features. Not even going into the video aspect of this device yet, but the OnePlus 9 Pro does make some solid videos, but the Samsung might have an edge over it. That video, more to come later. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for spending your time with me. Till next time, for the love of tech, namaste.